guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Baltimore Ravens. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Time to end it. Check.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
No. Off. Inside. Check safety. Topper. Under team.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 27, Rodgers. And he's got his man on the out route. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. On the toss play, Howard. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Benny Snell, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Down. You're 188. Check. 59. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Undercrush. We are going. He's checking crab. Switch.
On first, they go right back to Howard. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Check. Yeah, live. He's coming.
This is Howard on second down. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
319.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A field position changer there. 49 yards on the punt. Couple that with a loss on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Buddy up, Mike. 53 is the mic. All day.
Jackson. He's going to air one out. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
We got this. 25. Check 25.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy.
And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 52 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Here's Rodgers. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go.
7-7, our score after one.
Let's go.
Rodgers now on first down.
What we got?
He's got it. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Here we go. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Everyone go to 50. Mike's 40. Mike's 40. Come on.
Hey, Mike's 7.
Rodgers to throw once more. Touchdown, Packers. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers have taken the lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
The improv on the scramble there gets them 6, and it'll be second down. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Blue Dan. Check 99. Check 99. Shift. Watch the shift. Slam.
Jackson options out left. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
We got 4.
Play action. It's Jackson. He uncorks it for Snead. He's got a man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. They toss to Ingram. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Double up.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Check 15. Check.
Now Howard. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory.
That's it, baby.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Green 18. Move. Hey, 4 down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
Let's go. Let's do this.
7 yards on the quick slant and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. They'll set up the screen to Howard. Past the 20. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him, Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go,
From the gun, it's Jackson. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Throwing on 2nd down. Jackson got a man. It's Brown. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Mike, 53. 50. Mike. Hey, tighten down. There you go. Shift.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And that's complete to Adams. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this 1st half.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. To throw again is Jackson. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the 1st. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this 1st half. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Here's Jackson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brings up 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's 3rd and goal. Now it's Jackson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Back north. Bring it.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's got his man, it's Andrews. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play action. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Rodgers going to throw. Going for the deep ball. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. Well, they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
It's caught here by Adams. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they'll be down just outside of the end zone at the 1-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Check. Go to 50. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Check 30. 40. Bravo.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. That's caught by Howard. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
26.
They go with Howard again.
Check 3.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Trying to run for it was Snell. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They go play action here on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A big play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run with Howard. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 39-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Check my 50.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Check. White left. Check 37.
Again, it's Howard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Green 18. Green 18 up. Watch the run.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Watch the run.
Now Jackson going to throw again. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards, first down Packers. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here we go.
They'll run from the pistol with Howard. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now.
Jump out. Check 43.
On second down, it's Howard. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Right there.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be first and goal.
Blue 58. Here, we go Mike 40, Mike 40. He can't hang.
On first and goal, Howard. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. Running with Howard. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
I got one.
On 3rd and goal, Howard. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. You know what? I know it's 4th down and they've got a big lead, but go for it.
Yeah, and why not, right? Because they have the big lead. But don't you have to have a little bit of admiration for these guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've been shoved around this entire game, and they're making a nice goal line stand here. It would be fun to see them stop them on 4th down, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's like putting whipped cream on broccoli at this point.
So what you're saying is they're going to go for it on 4th down. They're going to get it, aren't they?
I would. This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Good job, Dean.
So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Green 18. Two tights, two tights. Alert, alert. Three down, three down.
And that'll set them back 5.
258.
And they take a knee.
Rodgers on the keeper. Will also be yard on the play. And it's 3rd down.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Packers, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Guys, we all watched the film from yesterday, and I hope everyone knows it wasn't good enough. Today's practice has got to be great. You want to win a ball game, take advantage of your practice reps, because Sunday's going to be here before you know it.
Here we go! 50, plant! Shoot! Okay, ready? Leaf river! Leaf river! Let's go! 70 in fire! Ready, ready! Get it! Here we go, here we go! 60 now! Here we go, set! 30 base. Set, hut! Set! 10-2 soft. Hit it!